This is a story of so many students whom I called and asked them one single question. Define the subject science in a single word. Some said nightmare, some said the worst subject ever, some said lots of formulas, lots of concepts, lots of numericals. And I then sat down and talked to those kids because I was baffled how everybody is just hating science. Then I talked to them and I figured out everybody is lacking somewhere something that they're not doing in the correct manner. They are doing so many mistakes that are costing them not just their marks in the science, but their love for science, their understanding for science, the concept for science. And today, beta, out of all those, I have gotten these 5 most repeated mistakes that all of those students were making, and I am going to tell you these exact mistakes. See, sometimes we don't even realize that we are making a certain mistake, and that mistake is jeopardizing our subject, our marks, our understanding, right? So in this video, I'll tell you the mistakes, and with that, I'll tell you the exact solution, the exact roadmap you need to follow with a correct approach towards your goal. Done? So these are the 5 mistakes that you should avoid in science if you want to score good marks, if you want to understand science with the basics. Okay, beta? Now, the first very big mistake everybody was doing, it was either one of these. Either they were directly skipping the concepts and going head dive into the questions. They were started doing lots of questions and then they can't do the questions and then they get panic and then they stop studying altogether. Or the other side, they are not doing any questions at all. They are just reading the concept again and again and again, watching videos, shorts, lectures, but not doing the questions by hand by themselves. If you are either of one of these children or kids, beta, this is the biggest mistake that you can do for your science, right? This is the one thing that you should avoid. Either these are very big 2 mistakes. Okay, so either you are not doing a question at all or you're doing so many questions that either your concepts are wrong or your concept is wrong but you don't know how to attempt the questions. Both of these will not get you any marks in your paper. So what you have to do, beta, we have to first start with our concept and revision, both side by side. I'm not saying start your concept, just do the concept, don't do the revision or questions, or just doing questions, don't do the concept. I told you that's the biggest mistake. What you have to do, you have to start with NCERT and you have to see the lectures. Now beta, NCERT we will do, or you have to do line by line, okay, in the starting. Now see, this is the time mostly for your PT test, for your half yearly. So maybe you cannot read NCERT line by line. We don't have this much time. That's where your notes and short notes come handy. Okay, if you have made short notes, then that's the best thing you have done for yourself. And if you have short notes, that's just cherry on cake. Okay, so make sure while you are just preparing for your test, while you are going into the class, you are revising the chapter, you revise from these notes and short notes. Now, if you have backlogs, beta, that video is already uploaded on the channel. I have gave you the exact roadmap to cover these backlogs along with the schedule. Okay, you will cover these backlogs. If you have 6 chapters of backlogs, you will cover them in 1 and 1.5 week. That's the kind of schedule I've given, and I'm not asking you to study 2 to 3 hours a day, just 30-40 minutes and you'll cover all these backlogs. For that, you think that making notes will take a lot of time. So for now, ask your friends for notes, ask any online source, or better, I have all the notes in the description below of each video. You have seen videos of science, right? Just go in that description. There are notes available. PDF link is available in every single video. Just go and pick up those notes. At least do that. Okay. Now that was your first 2 mistakes. What are the other mistakes, beta? Now, beta, the next mistake, we are jumping directly into questions. The NCERT. What you did, NCERT is not complete. We are jumping to random books. There are so many good books in this whole market. I'm not saying you should not do that. But at this point, right now, you are in June or July. June is over. July, August. fifth, right? So in this time, beta, this is the time to actually focus completely on NCERT. Or whatever month you are, whenever you are watching this video, you have to complete your NCERT first. That is line by line. Ma'am, how will I do that? Go watch the backlog video. Okay, then beta, after this NCERT, you are going to do the questions of your NCERT plus the notes. These are very important. I'll tell you exactly just in the next slide what you have to do, but these are the two most important things that you should be doing in the starting. Do not skip NCERT. Do not just skim through the NCERT. Okay, this paragraph, I have already watched the lecture, I can understand. No, line by line NCERT should be completed, because see, CBSE will throw some random question towards you in the paper, and sometimes you won't be doing that. Of course, they won't give you all PYQs in the board exams, right? Some new questions will be there. How will you tackle that? You will tackle that by using this NCERT. If you have studied NCERT line by line, you will be clear with your concepts and you will be able to tackle those questions with perfect score. Okay? Now, what exactly you have to do in this revision part, beta, we are talking about your PT test, your half yearly, your pre-boards, boards, whenever you are watching this video. This is the one thing you have to do. Three things actually you have to do in the revision, and I am not talking about one single time. Every single time you are revising, you have to do these things. First, we will divide our revision into some categories. First is your theory, then your numericals, then your diagrams. Okay, now, and fourth is a bonus tip, so stay with me till the video for that. Do not skip at all. Okay, now beta, when we are revising our theory, okay, when we are revising our theory, we are done with our NCERT, right? Line by line NCERT is done. Now revision, you won't read NCERT again and again. What we start doing? We start reading NCERT line by line again, and we call it a revision. We start reading our notes line by line again, and we call it a revision. That's not revision. Okay, what you have to do for the theory part, you have to write down important definitions every single time. Two laws of reflection, write them down completely along with the formulas. Two laws of refraction, write them down completely along with the formulas. They are asking you about photosynthesis, write down the definition, write down the chemical reaction. They are asking you about the digestion of human heart. Ma'am, every time I have to write the long answer. See, what you can do, you can at least, still you have to write. You have to write. That is the one thing, if you agree, if you start doing that, I promise you nobody can even touch you in your boards. Now, in long questions, you write bullet points, okay? This is your, first is your mouth, then it's your esophagus, then it's your stomach, and then it's your bile juice, pancreatic juice, small intestine, large intestine. So, that is what you have to do, and then you have to write the important points. Like in mouth, the main point, the main keyword is mechanical chewing. Right, mechanical chewing. Okay, then we have so many juices, bile juice in liver, pancreatic juice. Okay, that comes all in the after your stomach, it comes in the small intestine. In small intestine, again, so many things happen. Proteins are converted, carbohydrates are being converted into glucose, and all those things. Main points, main keywords, you have to write them down. Okay, so that English we can make out of it, right? But you have to write down the important points, because only then, if you write down while revising every single time, just, I don't care how many notebooks you need, just get the worst quality of notebook available in the market and start writing down. That's the only process to get to that top 1%. I am telling you this today. I scored 10 CGPA in my class 10th. Okay, that was a long back ago, but still it was a big deal. The only one thing I did was to write down everything every single time. Okay, then beta, talking about formulas, now you have to make a formula sheet. Just write down all the formulas on one single sheet, paste it in front of your desk, and keep reading it again and again whenever you pass by. You don't have to sit down and actually cram the formulas. Just paste it, it's right in front of your eyes. You will study 1 by F equals to 1 by V plus 1 by U or any other formula, and that will be engraved in your soul. Then also you have to write down important reasoning questions. Now they will ask you why your body moves forward. If you are in 9th class, why your body moves forward when the bus stops. So you have to write down the complete concept of that. Okay, if you are in 10th class, they will again ask you about the laws of reflection, and they'll give you some case based question. You have to write down the answer. So write down the conceptual questions properly. Okay, write down the 2 laws of reflection, write down the 2 laws of refraction, write down the complete theory about all the important definitions and important concepts. Okay, that's the one thing. Now we are talking about numericals. In numericals, first thing is you have to follow this format given. As we read, we write one motto of Aditi Ma'am's life. Life, then to find, then solution, then we doing the calculation. Before that, we also have to write the formula and then final answer in a particular box. Done. Now beta, how to revise these numericals? Open your NCERT. What did I say? NCERT is your first priority. Open your NCERT, do the solved question first. From where? NCERT, solved are there. Plus, if you don't understand, come to my live. I will be doing solved as well as unsolved questions, that you will be joining my live and doing the unsolved questions. There are so many lives available on the channel. You can go watch how in depth, in detail, I have done these numericals in the live session. If you have any doubt, I clear right then, right there. So go watch those live sessions and join new live sessions as well. You can ask doubts and we will do all the numericals. You try the solved ones in your house before, and then maybe you can see the solution if you understand it. If you don't understand it, take it to my live session, ask the doubt. I will properly solve that numerical for you. Okay, done. Next beta, very important, diagrams. Now these diagrams, I know you have heard it for a long period of time, but again you have to draw them to master them. Do not just stare at the diagram of a human heart. Take a pencil, take a paper, draw it out, label it neat and clean, label it, and important ones practice again and again. We know heart diagram is important. It will definitely come in the examination. Practice it again and again and again. Maybe at this point, maybe 2 to 3 times a week. Okay, that's not much. If you draw your heart diagram once, it will take you maybe 10 to 15 minutes. But after few times, after 5 times, 10 times, you will draw it in literally 2 to 3 minutes. Beta, we play badminton, you play cricket, you play football. You have seen the FIFA is going on. So we know that they are doing so incredible goals. Do you think they did it in just 1 day or 2 days, 10 days, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? How will you draw the heart diagram by just revising 10 to 15 minutes? You also have to practice the same thing again and again, just like Ronaldo does, Messi does, and all other players does. Okay, so you have to give yourself that time, that effort to put in your studies to get some output. Okay, next beta, and a bonus tip for all of you who stayed till the end, and you can write it down. Yes ma'am, I stayed for the bonus tip. Okay, and I will not make these mistakes again. Now beta, bonus tip is your answer writing. No matter what you do, no matter if you avoid all these mistakes, if you don't write your answer properly, if your presentation is not up to par and your teacher is not able to understand your answer, there is no use of all the effort, all the practice. So in these days, you have to focus on that. Now by answer writing, I don't mean it should be your handwriting should look like pearls and all that. No, it should be neat and structured. In the short answers, in MCQs, obviously it will be a to the point answer A and the answer B and the answer. And just make sure if you are writing down the exact answer, exact option along with the option number A, B, C, then these two should match. Okay, now for short answers, your answers should be better to the point. Don't mess around, don't create stories, don't talk about 10 different things in a short answer. Just 2 to 3 lines, crisp and clear, explaining what exactly photosynthesis is, its equation, reaction, product, what are the main conditions. Okay, what is the main thing that is being used in photosynthesis, right? So that is the one thing you have to do, you have to take care of. In short questions, your answer should be to the point. In long questions, however, we know the format. We all know the format. That is, you start with introduction, you start with body, your whole answer, what you exactly want to say, and in this body also you will be including your diagrams as well, right? And then beta conclusion. Now, in this, if by chance you don't know, you don't get to the proper length, you don't know enough answers for your question, right? You can write a little bit, you can relate it a little bit to, now photosynthesis you can relate a little bit to stomata, a little bit, shouldn't do it, but if you have to fill a full page and it should look a little bit okay, then you can in introduction you can write a little bit so that to increase the length, but make it crisp, make it clear. That's your first goal. Add some diagrams if you think the length is short. That's why we are revising the diagrams again and again, so that if we need it somewhere, we can put that diagram so that it looks a little bit lengthy. Okay, so beta, those are some of the mistakes that you have to divide, and those are some of the solutions to that mistakes that you have to take care of. Okay, now this is your Aditi Ma'am. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you do not make these mistakes in your PT tests, half yearly, pre-boards, boards, because this is a battle. The 10th class, we are fighting it together, and your Aditi Ma'am is here with you. I'll see you in the next video. Tata, bye bye.